here's how it goes. About a year ago, 2 years ago, I had a hobby which was setting up a coral reef tank aquarium. So a saltwater aquarium. Crap. I think we're AoEing too soon. We're going to get more spawns. Yeah, these. And more over there. Oh, that was not that hard. So it's pretty nuts, you guys. So with coral reef tanks, it's a lot harder than freshwater. Saltwater tanks are crazy. So you have to regulate all of the levels. Right? You have to reach in there and you have to be like, get out of there, nitrites. You just have to pull them out by hand. I'm kidding, that's impossible. So it's like little tiny molecules. You have parts per million. You have to add all these chemicals. You have to arrange everything and make sure it's perfect. And this was my hobby. It was really fun. And I did this for about a year. It was a great hobby. Let's see, do they want to go back down, or where do they want to go? Yeah, we'll go around here. And a lot of the things that I had were crustaceans. I had hermit crabs, I had mysterious snails. I don't know if you guys know about these snails. They're really cool. I didn't know about them until I had these tanks. But basically what happens is, they have like long trunks like an elephant, and they bury themselves in the sand. And then they come up whenever they sense food, and they use their little trunk to like smell it out. They sniff it out in the currents, and they start walking towards where they think it is. And little quick side story, when my sales team came back from one of the weekends, like 3 in the morning, it was nuts. I fed the tank. I was like, here, check it out. The tank really comes alive whenever I feed it. And it just so happens that we were playing Ode to Joy, right? That amazing, maybe Bigglesworth will throw it in the songs list, I don't know. Ode to Joy, just crazy, booming, echoing song as I feed it. And all of the snails emerge, and there's like 9 or 10 of them. They're about an inch long, and they all start they just come out of the sand. They just like undig themselves. And start marching with these huge antennae up in the water, trying to figure out where the food is. And it was like the most epic snail progression and procession, really, I think, in mankind's history. I'll be honest. They did it to Ode to Joy. It was nuts. No, hang on. O Fortuna. That's what it was. Oh, Fortuna! And like the snails are just marching. So I had this aquarium. It was really cool. Well, what I wanted was more hermit crabs. And like every couple months, you have to basically reseed it, essentially, with all this new life, which is part of the ecosystem. And just like increase all the populations of stuff as it kind of settles out. So I had maybe 200 hermit crabs, and I wanted some more. This big tank was really cool. The little guys were pretty small. So I went to Hawaii for 10 days. It was one of my vacations down there. Beethoven, yeah, exactly. Oh Fortuna, that's what it was. Snails to battle. We laughed until we thought we were gonna die. It was the funniest thing, I think, in my entire life. It's the funniest friggin' thing. These guys marching. Archer, I know. Wasn't that crazy, buddy? Sure was. Uh-oh. Switching positions. Where are you going, Arch? Oh, he's going back. He's going back. Hello, guy. Are you going to go to that shoulder? Or back in? Alright, good boy, Archer. Thanks for being a bear. Squirrel. Wherever you are there. So now comes my personal vacation to Hawaii. Okay, so I go down there for 10 days. I have a great time. I do everything. I do everything that you can do in Hawaii in 10 days. I mean, seriously. I packed it like my business schedule. So it got to the point where I went to skydive, and we had to be so fast finishing the skydive that I had to call a taxi because the shuttle was so slow. I was like, you gotta get me to this platform. I just finished skydiving, and I'm gonna go on a helicopter tour of the island, and I'm late for it, and they're gonna leave without me. So like I had to pay extra to get this taxi to like speed me over to the other side of the island from skydiving to helicopter tours. I went on a submarine. Apparently I'm part of the 1% of Americans that have been 100 feet under the water. It was really cool. So I got to see all sorts of great things there. And I went kayaking. One of the things that I did, my armor is broken, dang it. On the thing, synergy, we can do this. Come on. Yes. Oh, wow. Crazy recovery. We did it. One of the things I did was kayak. This was really fun. And so we packed our lunches, we got our kayaks, we got our life vests going, and it was like maybe 10 of us, and we kayaked, I want to say 4 miles. I think it was 4 miles. it was kind of out into the ocean away from the island. It was really fun. It's kind of hard, but it was not that big of a deal. You know, through the waves, just a good workout. Let's see. Oh, Fortuna was the tune I used for my Wise-Oss video. Was it? It might have been. Yeah, I feel like I just heard it. But it was quite cool. So we packed our lunch, and we're out there, and there's like a special way to go. But anyway, this isn't even the story. I'm just giving you more details about my Hawaiian trip. Either way, we make it to an island, we have lunch, and up on this island, maybe it was like 50 feet wide, 200 feet tall. So it was pretty rocky. We had our sandwiches and little like packed juice boxes and water and stuff on the beach. It was like one of the best times ever. It's a remote little island in Hawaii, just with some friends. Yuki's here. Yuki! Yuki! That's cool. And then I noticed that there were tide pools all the way up top, and I wondered why. Why would there be tide pools at the top of this little mountain, like 60 feet up? What happens is when the tide comes in, and it goes up 60 feet, right? The waves would come in, and they would just fill this place with water, just totally fill it, and it would just lap over this rather tall island mountain. So even 60 feet above where we were sitting on the beach, there were tide pools full of stuff and crustaceans and sea urchins and hermit crabs. And I was like, this is awesome. What a great opportunity. I was so excited. I was like, I'm going to get some Hawaiian hermit crabs for my aquarium. This is perfect. So I had my sandwich bag, right? So what I did was I filled the sandwich bag with salt water, because these were hermit crabs that were completely submerged under the water. They're not like land hermit crabs, like the ones that most of you guys know. Jojo never even knew about hermit crabs until, I forget what she said. It's like a game, right? Game? Pokemon. Did Pokemon teach you how to hermit crabs? I don't know. It was really funny either. Whatever it was. It just died. Potion available. Sweet. So then I went around collecting them. So we had a saltwater sandwich bag filled with about 10 hermit crabs. I found like the really cool ones. And I was like, I'm going to put these back in my aquarium. This is going to be the greatest thing. So the bag of saltwater and hermit crabs, I stuffed it into my swimsuit pocket, and I kayaked back with them. And they specifically told me, do not take anything from the tide pools, and definitely not on the mountain. Leave it there. Don't break Hawaii. And I was like, sure, that's important. And then I grabbed the hermit crabs. And as I'm kayaking back, like I'm really cautious. I'm like, crap, I don't want to step on little things, and I don't want to capsize, because then there's be a bunch of hermit crabs floating around in a sandwich bag. I'm like, they're gonna not survive that way. So I was really careful kayaking back, and they asked us again. They're like, did anyone take anything? It's like, no. But for some reason they were like really careful about it. Then I went. This is interesting. If you guys have never been to Hawaii, then I started to leave, and some guy was selling an octopus in a jar. He actually had a few of them, so they were octopi. He had like 8 of these little things. They were like a foot long. He's like, here, do you want to buy an octopus for $15? It's like, no, thank you. It was really funny. That's Hawaii, you guys. I was in Honolulu. So now this is where it gets crazy and dangerous, you guys. I now start leaving the island. This is a couple days later. I made sure they got new fresh water every day, and I was caring for them in my hotel room and stuff. Well, at this point, I gotta leave, right? And when I'm in the airport, I see a lot of signs that make me a little bit worried, okay? Stuff like, no agriculture beyond this point. Jail time if anything is found. Minimum fine. $1,000 for anything alive. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, it's probably not serious. And then, as I'm passing, like another post, like, you know, this whole process getting on the plane, it's like, seriously, we will find you and you will go in jail. I was like, what are the chances of that? I'm like, it'll probably be alright. What could happen, you know? I'm not as confident as I was in the beginning. And then we get to the United States Department of Agriculture bag scanning station. I go, oh damn, I'm in friggin' trouble right now, you know. So I don't know how this is gonna go. I was quite worried, and they don't mess around, you guys. There were 2 lines. There was one where they open every fold. One time I captured a snake during a field trip in grade school, brought it to the school bus. It wasn't poisonous, probably. Yeah, never know. Wait, there used to be a portal here. Is that finally gone? All the portals are gone. I've never seen that before. Wow, that's really weird. Well, I guess there's no use in doing laps. So there's 2 lines. One of them, they open your bags and like just go through them. It was Hawaii. It was different and weird. And the other one was a full-on scan. And God, it was. I got sent to the line where they're going to put my bag on like some conveyor belt, stop it. I mean, it's not just a normal airport scan. I do that all the time. I'm always flying. I just flew to TwitchCon, stuff like that. There's the USDA scanning to check if there is any kind of plant life or any kind of animal life in the bags. And there were signs everywhere like, you're going to jail. I was like, oh, this will be fine. You know, I just kept telling myself that. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Throw them away? Like the hermit crabs. Save the hermit crabs! It's worth jail time, dang it! It's worth jail time! So, like the person comes up to me, and yeah, I'm sure I could have just handed it over before I tried smuggling it and would have been fine. But instead, the person comes to me like, do you have anything you want to declare? I'm like, no. Yo, M. Donald, what's up, man? They're like, are you sure? I'm like, okay. And so they take my bag. They ask for it. They don't just grab it. It's kind of interesting. They ask for it. Oh god. There it is. Yes, I need that. Oh, sweet. Thank you for that stamina. And this is the song that the snails were marching to. And as they get it, right, I hand it to them like, here's my suitcase. You know? Alright, now I was not thinking of adding that sound, but I remember specifically adding the sound after I handed them my suitcase, which added to the suspicion of the whole moment, you guys. I was no longer just a random bored airport passenger, now that I've kind of got like a badger squeal going on. And they looked at me and I was like, have a nice day! I'm like, I'm going to jail! Oh god! Yeah, I thought for sure. I'm going to jail now. And they scan it, and it stops on the scanner. And they look at it, and I'm like, I'm freaking doomed. This is horrible. And then they hand it back to me. I was like, okay. Like, go ahead. Go on. It's like, you've got to be kidding me. No freaking way. Like, the hermit crabs were right in there. You couldn't see it? That's awesome. So, I was so freaking happy. I actually had spare salt water, which was funny, because I knew it was a long flight. I was like, I need to change the salt water so the little guys make it. And, yeah, I totally did. I kept them, I put them on a carry-on, and the little guys made it back. Not one of them died. It was really cool. And they got into my aquarium, my saltwater aquarium, where they lived like another 8 or 10 months or something. And all my friends were like, dude, that's the greatest thing! You actually have hermit crabs from Hawaii. So I successfully smuggled them over. That sound should be a soundbite. Oh man. So there you go.